And we're back. Welcome back. The Seven Rivers Racing Show here on KQEG TV. Just a couple of nights away from week number 2 at the Crosse Speedway. One driver you will see out there. Different colors this year, but it's the same man. And one of my favorite drivers out there to converse with, whether it's on the internet or out there at the racetrack. He goes by the name Dr. Noise, and he drives the number 16 North Country Contractor Sportsman from Madison, Wisconsin, Billy Martin. Billy, how are you, buddy?
I'm wonderful.
One of the nicest looking cars out there, too, in your division.
Thank you. Although you take a risk with a green car if you have any perception of luck being a real thing.
Mm-hmm. Got to go back to last year. It was funny that I didn't find out until I think the 4th week of racing that you have never, at that time, had never been behind the wheel of a race car at all.
Nope.
Why did you choose to?
In this day and age, it's very easy for, 14-year-old drivers these days, they can go out and whip anybody's butt.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And one of the reasons I believe that they can do that is because first of all, they start with karts and whatnot, which I didn't have that advantage because I came from a poor family. But the simulation side of racing has become so advanced that I really enjoy doing that, and I thought, well, there's a local track, I have an opportunity, why not try it and see if maybe the simulation world can transfer over? And surprisingly, it really does, and that's why I was able to do it as well as quickly as I could. I think. I don't think it's natural skill.
but looking at how fast you adapted to the track, you were always in races. Very rarely did I even see you towards the back like you didn't know what you were doing, or were a rookie and we're still trying to figure things out. You adapted to the track very well. You adapted to racing very well, and you even picked up a feature win last year.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't expect that. Well, the simulation world for me helps because everything is the same as far as knowing what another driver is going to do, and it transfers to the real world really well as well. And I think just having at least the mind perception of that to a degree when going out on the real track, you just kind of, it's there. And I really think that's why I was able to get comfortable with the other drivers. And plus, it's always the same drivers when you're at the same track, so right. You get to know them really quick, who's going to give, who's not going to give. And from what I can see, you go 10th and back, everybody gives and takes. When you get about 9th and forward, everybody kind of wants to stay where they are.
Right. And there's no leeway in passing whatsoever when you get that much competition up front.
Yeah, and the cars are so close that even if you are the faster car and you're behind, it's still really hard to get a pass. And the track is as flat as it is. It's even harder with the outside line being sometimes there, and if it rained, not there.
Bill was so excited last year after he got his feature win. For folks that attend the races, you know that I interview the drivers on the track from the previous weekend. We talk to the winners, and they get prizes or whatever the case may be, and they do the inversion wheel. Billy was so excited to get his feature win last year that I had to interview his crew chief because you ended up deciding to go to L.A. What a way to celebrate, man.
Well, I do video work on YouTube, and there was a video conference that I had planned to go to since a year beforehand, almost entirely. I think it was about a year. And I had already bought the ticket and was ready to go. And then, lo and behold, the 8th night I raced, I actually won the feature. And then I had to leave the next week. It was actually kind of a bummer. Mm-hmm.
You remember the night you ended up on a flatbed? Not you yourself, but...
Which night?
Well, I remember the one night, it would have been you and another driver coming out of turn 4 and getting demolished to the point that I got a chance to check that out on a flatbed sitting outside your pits before you took off. And it's very not often that you see a race car from the inside out. Billy's sure did.
Yeah, that was bad. Actually, the car is still pretty screwed up from that. I've got to go, hopefully, by the end of the week, or maybe even this weekend if I am lucky, we're going to try to straighten what was bent that night, because ever since the night I got hit, the car has not responded the way that it should, and the frame is pretty bent.
So you were talking about bringing perception to reality and reality to perception, and it's right there in front of you. Your thoughts after your first, because I know you wrecked a couple of times hard last year.
2 big ones and 1 little one.
Your thoughts on the first big one? I mean, was it like you're going 1,000 miles per hour and everything you see, and all of a sudden it just stops, and you get that one little pregnant pause, and you're like, wow.
Well, the first time was with Steinhoff. I think it's Randy Steinhoff.
Randy Steinhoff, and his car ended up straddling the wall by the Camping World sign.
Yes, he took the sign right out. That was the first. I had taken one shot before that, driving like a rookie. I kind of deserved what I got the first time when Chalet and I went into the wall together. I earned that one myself by acting like a rookie. So no matter what, I'm still a rookie. But when Steinhoff, he overcorrected his car and went straight for the wall. And I thought when his car started going this way, he was just going to go into the grass. So I was like, sweet, floor it. But then he's hooked right back in front of me. And yeah, time slows down a little bit. But what I've noticed both times I got hit is the point where you expect the impact to hit is 1 second earlier.
Really?
It feels 1 second earlier than it actually hits, because naturally you close your eyes.
Did you really?
That both times. The first time because I'd never really. It's like, oh God, there's a car right in front of me in the wrong direction. This is not going to be good. But the second time when logging ran into the side of the car, I got to watch him come around the corner and then turn sideways. It's like, oh, it's going to suck. Turned my head and closed my eyes and waited.
That was the night I saw the car up on the flatbed, and
it was actually gone before I think I even got back into my pit area. I think the car was already gone because it took me a while to get back down there.
Billy Martin's our guest, Dr. Noise. We'll let you know why we call him Dr. Noise. He comes out of Madison, Wisconsin. We'd like to really thank him for driving up from Madison to do the show today. When we return, we'll get into the background of the Dr. Noise name and a couple other similarities he had between last year and this year. He had an interesting comment at the banquet last year. I don't know if you remember that, Al.
I read it all over Facebook that he had one of the best speeches.
It was a very quick, precise, and to-the-point speech, and I sat back going, wait a minute, why? And we're going to let you know what that was and how he did on our first opening night of races at the Crosse Speedway. I'm Dan Dyker, Al Losey. Bill Martin, Dr. Noise joins us in the program today. We'll be right back. Going to check in with some sponsors on the KQEG Seven Rivers Racing Show.